Exodus of workers quitting their jobs, but do Americans have resignation regret?
According to a new Harris poll for USA Today, 1 in 5 are now questioning that decision to quit. Joining us this morning to talk about it, local staffing expert Jason Wachtel with JW Michaels. Good morning, Jason. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we all know the pandemic played a role, but what caused so many people to change jobs over the last 2 years?
Well, I think the world changed, obviously, when COVID hit, really March 2020. And at that point, we were all just grateful to have jobs. Yeah. But when we got through COVID, like towards the end of 2020, most businesses really started to thrive. And then you started introducing remote work, hybrid work, and then you had firms going full time. And then you had the backlog of hiring starting. So all of a sudden, candidates had options of, do I want to work hybrid? Do I want to work remote? All these companies are throwing money at hiring employees because they had this backlog. And for those reasons, you saw a huge increase in hiring and huge increase for demand for employees.
So why are some people regretting their decision to change jobs, even if they're getting better benefits?
So, as I mentioned, when hiring really started ramping up towards the end of 2020, and we're all like, oh my God, not only do I have a job, but now I'm in so much more demand, people are getting 20, 30, 40, 50% raises. Wow. And so you might have liked your job, it was okay, but when you got all that money thrown at you, you just took that job without really doing some of your due diligence. And after a certain amount of time, sort of these skeletons in the closet start popping out their ugly head, and you're saying, was that money really worth that really good situation that happened? And then you start getting regrets, and because you were blinded by the money, you didn't do the due diligence that you really needed to do to make a job change.
Yeah, that makes total sense, right? Jason, so what should folks consider before making the jump, before making that career change?
Well, I think one of the interesting things that came through COVID is generally people would look for a new job, and it was really money focused. So compensation is obviously very important, but now you have the ability to sort of the hybrid work schedule. So you may like your job, but they may require you to be in the office 5 days a week. And depending upon that industry, that might not be the industry norm. So for example, if you're looking for a new job or a new opportunity and you say, you know what, I like my job, but they're requiring me in the office 5 days a week. My friend Mary down the street's in the office 2 or 3 days a week. That's really exciting for people to be able to work, spend some time, and not waste an hour or 2 hours in the car. So I think it's always, you want to make sure you're getting compensated fairly. And in this market, people are getting paid a lot of money. Hybrid work schedule, and making sure there's a room for growth in your career. Those are really the 3 main factors you should be looking at when you're potentially making a job change.
And what about those people who've already changed jobs? They regret it, buyer's remorse, if you will. What can they do?
So it's funny, at JW Michaels, we are seeing this a lot, especially the last few months, where candidates might have had 2 or 3 job offers. They took the offer that was the highest number, and sometimes higher by 10 or 20% than the other offers they were receiving. They started that job, and all of a sudden, everything they were promised wasn't delivered. So what we've been seeing are candidates reaching back out to us and saying, listen, I took this job. It's not what they promised. I was blinded by the money. Can I reach out to that client that I turned the offer down? Can you reach out on my behalf? I think I made a mistake. Now, we never had that happen at JW Michaels, or very rarely up until the pandemic. Now, that's a pretty relatively common conversation that we're having a few times a week. So if you make that mistake, own that mistake, reach out to the recruiting firm you might have used, reach out to your old boss, but don't be ashamed or embarrassed, your ego in check. Have that conversation, because a lot of times employers are taking that person back or reopening that offer that they made.
Another instance where keeping the ego in check is so important. Yeah. Just do what you can to make your situation better, if at all possible. Yeah. Jason, where can folks go for more information?
They can reach JW Michaels at www.jwmichaels.com. We're happy to chat. You may see that the stock market or firms are laying off. Fintech, yes, you see that, but generally the job market is stronger than ever, and there's still never a better time to be looking for new employment than currently.
All right, never a better time.
Yeah.
Like right now. Thank you so much, local staffing expert Jason Wachtel with JW Michaels. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, and thanks for having me.